Hi guys, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead. It's Saturday morning and Tom is doing his side job, so other than they're live at 11, I need to find trouble to get into. So I am almost out of dill relish and I'm getting low on my sweet relish. So these are not from my garden. I went and bought some at Fresh Time earlier this week and got them for 2 for $1. And I will just use my pickles that are my cucumbers that I get out of my garden for other things. So I am going to do relish up today. I figured I'd get all my cutting up done because everything has to soak for 2 hours. So that way by the time I get my lime, then I can get on to the next step. So I thought I'd get all the cutting done now. So I don't know how this one's going to work. I may end up using a different one. I'm not sure. But I want them small. And this one has the smallest of all of them that I have. So see, it cuts pretty small pieces. It's going to take a lot to do 18 cucumbers like that. But you know what? We want it done right and we want it to be pretty. So why not, you know? So this is what I'm going to do. When I get, these ones are going to be for the sweet relish. I've never made dill relish before, so I will be doing part of that in my 13-cup food processor, so we'll see how that works. So let me get 9 of them cut up this way, and then I'll be back to show you what I'm going to do for the dill. Alrighty, so this actually was only 7 cucumbers, and I was going to use 9, so I'll probably have some cucumbers left because that's quite a bit already. So now the next step in this is you're going to take a 1/2 cup of salt. I know that sounds like a lot, but you're going to end up rinsing most of it off. And you're going to cover that up with the salt. I got some on the floor. Shame on me. Now you're going to cover this in cold water and kind of just stir it around so the salt gets in there. Believe it or not, the salt helps to draw the moisture out of the cucumbers. So I am going to get the water on this and it will set for 2 hours. And then I'll come back and I'm not sure if I should put the dill and the sweet in one video or if I should separate it. I think I might separate it. So, but I'm going to get this starting to soak in the water and it'll end up after the lime and everything soaking for about 4 hours, which that'll be fine. No big deal. So I'll be back. Okay, so I have these in water now with salt, but you have veggies that go in your sweet relish. So I am going to cut up, and I'm not sure because of how many pickles I have if I'm going to have enough peppers. So I might end up getting some of my frozen ones out, and then they'll just be bigger chunks, I guess, because I'll see once it gets done here. So we're going to chop 3 peppers. You can do any colors that you want. They say a green and a red or whatever, but I've got 1 green. I'm not a fan of green peppers. They give me and Tom heartburn. But the color in them looks nice. So I'm going to get all 3 of these peppers cut up. And then not only that, but you also need, let me get you down here. You also need 4 medium onions. And this all goes into the soaking for 2 hours. I know it seems like a lot of time, but honestly, you will not find a relish at the store that tastes as good as this does. And I just made a mess on the floor again. And you know what's in it. And that's the big thing for me lately, is what's in your food. I would like to lose weight, but I would also like to know I'm putting more better things in. Even if it's junk food, I know what's in it, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to put all these veggies in there, and then I'll stir it in, and then we will soak it for the 2 hours, which will end up being 4. So let me get all these chopped up, and then I think I'm going to start a second video for the dill relish. So I'll be back. Okay, so I used some of my frozen peppers too. They'll be just a little bit bigger chunks, but that's all right. So that's what it looks like before we start getting it all soaked. So just wanted to bring you back. Alrighty, it's been a heck of a day already. So let's get started cooking for our sweet relish. So the first thing that we need is 4 cups of apple cider vinegar. Make sure on any of the vinegars that you guys find, make sure that they hit the 5%, because otherwise it's not cannibal. So I'm going to do 4 cups of apple cider vinegar. Now this is all because I've doubled it. So the recipe that I put below will be for a single batch. So now we're going to use 7 cups of sugar. I'm going to turn this on just to get it start to get warming. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I love these new containers, you guys, that I got. I'm thinking about when I can afford them. I'd like to get some for my brown sugar and everything else too, because they do seal up really, really tight. I just absolutely love these. They're great. Then we're going to use 2 tablespoons of mustard seed. And then we need 2 tablespoons of celery seed. Now basically what you're going to do with this is you're going to cook it till all that sugar gets melted down. You don't want the sugar in globs or anything like that. So you're going to bring it up to a slight boil. So when I get it to that boil, I will bring you back and I'll show you the next step. Alright, so now we have the mixture nice and hot. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add all of our veggies. And I'm going to do this kind of slow so that I don't scald myself. I was afraid it wouldn't all fit in there. The rest of it out of here. Don't want to waste all that, because that's some good stuff. Now we're going to stir that in with our brine and cover it all up completely. Let me bring you over here so you can see what it looks like. Isn't that beautiful? I tell you guys, you know, if you try this one, if you do it, I swear you'll never want to eat the relish ever from the store again, because this is so, so good. And I use it in my potato salads, my macaroni salad, egg salad, all of that. And it is delicious. I hope that the dill turns out as good. I've never made dill. This will be my first time, so we'll see in the next video how that turns out. Alright, let me grab just a fork here real quick. And I want to see out of curiosity how that tastes. Why not, right? When in Rome, give her a try. So delicious. Alright, so now I'm going to bring this up to a boil, and I'm going to let it cook for 10 minutes. Just let it get to the boil, then bring it down to a simmer, and let it cook for 10 minutes, and I'll be back. Alrighty, so the 10 minutes is up now. So now Jack's over here helping me because it's all hot, hot, and hot. So I need 2 jars, Jack. We've kept hot steaming water in them. Those are always so hot to grab onto. And we're going to fill our jars to a 1/2 inch headspace. You don't need those ones right away because I got to do the other kind.
I was looking for a thing to put it in there.
Right here.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to get a little bit of juice in there. Bring it right up there. And this stuff is all piping hot, you guys. You want to make sure you debubble. Jack's like, you're making a mess. Make sure you debubble. And make sure you wipe that lid because there's a lot of sugar in there. And then I'm using my 4 jars canning lids again. Hold on, I can't turn it like that. Look at that. I'll do one more with you and then I'll finish canning them. I don't know how many it's going to take. Maybe Jack will have to go down and get me more jars. I don't know. I got 6 last time, but I think I used more pickles this time, so, or cucumbers, whatever you want to call them. Oh, I got definitely way too much with that one.
I would say so.
Way, way too much. Oh, it's hot. Alright, let me grab a spoon, guys. Because that's definitely too much. That would be a non-sealer.
Yep.
If you overfill like that, make sure you take it back out because if you don't, they will not seal. And then you'll have done all that work for nothing. Alright, so wash your lids off again. Your rims. And you only need it finger tight. There you go. So I'm going to get all of these jarred up and then I'll be back. Okay, so we got 8 pints. Now we've got it in the canner. We'll bring it back up to a rolling boil that you can't stop. And then we'll let it boil for 10 minutes and then we'll take it off. So there we are. 8 full pints of beautiful sweet relish. And like I say, it was all canned in my 4 jar lids and they've already sealed. I will put the code below. And guys, once you make your own relish, you'll never go back to store-bought. It is the best. You guys have a blessed night. Be a blessing. And make sure you watch the dill relish video as well.